Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas. And I have with me today Patty Greer and Chris Burres with the ESS60 product, which I have been using for what, 2 months, almost three now. I love it. I love the product, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And I have had the most wonderful experience this morning when I found out that Anna Von Reitz shared an article about this very same product made at the lab that makes the ESS60, and the wonderful experiences that she had with her animal. Actually, it brought her dog back to life after going to a vet and having them throw medication at it, just making assumptions, as frequently happens. Unfortunately, they frequently do that to us as well. Maybe not the veterinarian, but the medical doctors. And it doesn't really serve you. It actually adds to the problems. And once again, I can only report very good things about my experience with this product, and I'm more than happy to continue. I feel my skin is just really improving. That's that particular product. I think maybe I should change the view here so we can see all of you at the same time. Gallery view. Yeah, like this. Okay, that's better. Now, show the facial product again, Chris, would you? Yeah. See, I use that every night and every morning. Sometimes I miss a night, but I never miss the morning. Anyway, and it's got a lovely little dispenser, and the end of the dispenser actually holds. It's kind of cool the way that works. Yeah. And so that's usually a good serving right there to put on your face. And it's just, I don't know, it seems to work wonders. Just like the Inside Yourself product, the oral product that you take. I have had improvements in focus, concentration, less fog, mental fog, you would say. And I honestly believe, and it's something that Anna Von Reitz talks about in the article that she wrote about this, is its ability to act as a very strong free radical, which we've talked about before.
Free radical sponge, yeah.
Yeah, it's just literally a sponge. It catches the little buckyball, catches all the toxins. I like that picture. And they're so tiny, and it's a natural substance too. I don't know if we talked about that so much, but it occurs naturally in nature, and that's very important because it's the foreign substances that are problems from people. So it captures. She mentioned that it's an efficient trap for waste and foreign matter, bacteria, virus, foreign nanotech, heavy metal ions, and what have you. It gets enmeshed in the carbon box, so to speak. It's not really a box, ball, and is eliminated through the body, which I think is absolutely awesome. And I have to report something else, and this is a little embarrassing, but it's funny too. I had personally felt that I had completely lost my libido, so to speak, and I actually I don't know if it's good or bad because I haven't got anyone, but it's back. It feels more normal again, and that's a big improvement.
That's
So
nice.
And I haven't had that feeling for a long time. So it's pretty cool.
That's
So-
wonderful.
That is something that
that.
does get reported. So not
Oh, so
that
I'm-
surprised.
So I'm not the only one. Oh,
You're
good, that's
not the
good.
only one.
Alrighty.
You're a lucky one.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. And then I have a close friend who was telling me she finally got the product, and she is enjoying it immensely too. She's got the facial product and the oral product, and she's had some of the similar experiences that I've had from what she said to me. So this isn't all just hype or BS or anything of that nature. It's really true. It really works. It really helps you. in many ways, in ways that you can't find. I mean, I have taken, because I'm a nutritionist, I probably have tried every single supplement out there at one time or another to see if there was any noticeable difference. And many, many times there was not a noticeable difference. And that would always bother me, and it frequently would result in my not continuing to use the product. I do have a liquid supplement that I use now that I rather like, but I'm finding that this ESS60 is probably the most amazing product of them all. And I'm not just saying that. I know people might think that you just say that to try to sell it, but it's it's a I don't own the company, and I don't get the biggest commission, but I get a lot from enough to make it worthwhile, because it's just a good product. What else can I say?
It sounds like your sales skills are similar to mine in that
lacking.
Well, yeah, like I don't want people to think that I'm really selling it. Like the reality is there's some amazing testimonials behind it. I'm a scientist, so for the first 9 months, I struggled to even accept those testimonials. It's kind of like Gail calls me on the phone and says some amazing stuff about her libido, and I'm like, I believe you, Gail, because you're sharing this information with me. But I'm a scientist, and I don't know exactly why the product would be doing that. I mean, I've got some theories, so I don't know what to do with that information. And really, when we brought the product onto the market, the first full 9 months, as customers were calling and sharing these amazing testimonials, I had just that same reaction over and over and over again, which is, I believe you as one human telling another human that this is happening to you and that you've identified my product as the product that's making the difference. But I didn't, one of the things is I didn't even go create this in the lab for that purpose, like Gail's purpose or any of the other purposes that have been shared with us. I've been manufacturing this molecule, right? This ESS60 molecule since 1991. They do a crazy toxicity study and published it in 2012. And now people are like, hey, you need to give this to me so I can consume it. At first, I was very uncomfortable with that because I'm a carbon nanomaterial scientist and very conservative. And then finally, the pressure from our customers to create a product and put it on the market was so great that we did put it on the market. And then we got all these amazing testimonials. And I'm still in reality trying to wrap my head around this opportunity that I have. Like, again, I make this carbon materials stuff, and people say amazing things about it, and there's some science behind it that supports it. But I'm actually driving some of the science and yearning for that science that says, here's the peer-reviewed published research that is a double-blind, placebo-controlled study on humans that proves X, Y, and Z. And we're doing the things that we need to do in order to get those studies in place. But even when we get to the point to start those studies, those are $1 million+ studies. I don't know if we're going to be in a position to afford it. So we're doing everything we can leading up to it. So we're doing things like jumping through the hoops necessary to recreate that original rat study. If you're watching, I'm holding up my index finger. I've got an Aura ring. We're actually doing a sleep study. The results from that are coming in really great. We're doing a DNA age study. So we're supposed to have some results of that coming soon. So like we're doing all the things I think that most supplement companies don't do to really kind of prove ourselves in an industry that a lot of people don't bother to prove themselves. And we really think as scientists, I kind of want to prove it to myself, right? Like more than just my.
Yeah, I would love to see these studies. I really would.
I want the data so I can maybe do a better job of selling it, right? So like, here's the data. I mean, right now we've got, a 90% extension of life. That's peer-reviewed, published research. It's the single longest longevity experiment on mammals known to man. And we're pushing for that next layer of research. And it really is going to start probably in the sleep arena, because our most consistent testimonial is people take the product in the morning, they report mental focus and energy during the day, and then better sleep that night.
And I can tell when I don't take it if I forget to take it in the morning. I'm not kidding you.
Well,
and
one of
go,
the keys,
can I go take it now at night?
Yeah, one of the keys there is make it part of whatever your routine is. And really, you know, when we started bringing this to market kind of 2018, if it got to the middle of the day and I started yawning or thinking I needed another cup of coffee, I knew that I had forgotten to take my product that morning, and it was just invariable. So I'd go take the product, and now I've folded it into my coffee routine. So make it part of that routine that you do every day, so you don't get to the middle of the day going, oh, I've hit that proverbial wall, and now I've got, you know, to either have a cup of coffee or go take your ESS60.
Well, see, I got to go with the ESS60 because if I take coffee in the afternoon, I will be up late at night and not be able to fall back asleep.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, what's funny is one of the things that I'd like to, every time somebody says double blind placebo controlled study, I see, there was this cartoon one time that I saw these two scientists with blindfolds on walking around in the lab. And I'm going, oh, that's hilarious. But anyway.
One of them was named Placebo, I'm guessing.
Yes. It was very funny.
I thought it was a Fauci joke.
Yeah, really. And we know what we're talking about there, and there are no double-blind placebo-controlled studies in regard to that substance. So anyway.
Well, when Chris talks about using all three flavors, it makes me realize every time that I've only used the olive oil because for the first few years I was doing C60, I was doing coconut oil, MCT, and I thought, wow, boom, bah, this is amazing. And I had no idea that it only held scientifically less than half of what olive oil will hold if they're manufactured correctly, if they're spun long enough in vats that are airtight, light deprived to the maximum amount of time. You're going to get 0.8 to 0.8.5 milligrams per milliliters of C60 in olive oil, 0.6 to 0.65 milligrams per milliliters in avocado oil, and only 0.35 in MCT coconut oil, no matter how long you stir it, no matter how much raw product you add to the mixture, the formulation, those are the maximum results that we're going to find. So once Chris taught me that, I was like, why have I been taking coconut oil for 18 months? Because I didn't know any better. So once I started taking direct from the lab, his ESS60 with olive oil, I was sold. And so we became partners quickly because the two of them are science and I'm the mouth, and I've got friends like you, Gail. And
thank you.
I've been in the field of, touring.
Can I be a partner too?
And influencers are my friends, and I watch constant videos about what's going on in the world. And Chris and I have completely different ideas of what's going on in the world, and we are the best of friends.
That's awesome.
Thing.
We would probably have very similar, Patty, and we might have a bit juxtaposed, Chris, if you're opposed to Patty in that way about things in the world, not from a scientific.
It's not opposed. It's just we're listening to different news and having different thoughts. But the world is really right now dealing with that in so many households, relationships, whatever. So something like ESS60 that actually helps to balance out the emotional body is priceless. So I realized I needed to get all three oils. And today I got my shipment from the lab, from C60 Evo. And when I opened, I've never seen this. When I opened my sample package, I come on. This is such a beautiful presentation in my opinion.
It is.
The purple is the olive. The green is, of course, avocado. And the blue is coconut oil. I just love how we ship. And the facial serum shows up in a box that you have to fist fight to get into unless you're really clever. Is that upside down? No.
I have long fingernails.
Right? And then when you slide it out, it is all of a sudden wonderfully deep and spiritual and very beautiful. But what it says is revive, replenish, rejuvenate. And it's really kind of, once you slide it out and do the work to get it out of its wonderful box that protected it all the way here. And then it has this lovely message before you even take the bottle out. It's been really fun opening my Christmas packages. And we also have this wonderful lip renewal, and it comes in a little box. And
I
then when
really
it
like
comes
that
out,
too.
oh my God. Did you get
I
the
didn't
mint
mention
one?
that. I use it every day, and I really like it. I put it, I mean, use some lipstick, but I always put it on my lips
Right?
under and over the lipstick. And I really like it. It lasts. It actually lasts.
And you can feel it. There's something about the spearmint in it that's all natural. Everything's natural and vegan, and it's infused with the ESS60. Find that anywhere else. Oh, wait a minute, you won't. So we have
Don't
mint.
bother looking, right?
The mint is so good. You can taste it. I can smell it. And it's got that warmth, like when you put menthol or something on and you can feel it warm up when it's cold out. It doesn't even need to be cold out. My lips are already heated. This is like the coolest thing I think we've done. And what's fun for me is that my mind never stops. And my body's not working so well anymore, but my mind makes up for it. So here now, I've got these partners that have the lab that can make anything. And when I said, come on, lip serum, they've never made, they're like, no problem. And they got the machine and it's all done. And I talked about the facial serum, and
What about here?
2 different formulators. Hair, some of our people are saying their hair is really improving with the edible oil, the elixir.
What if you added it to a shampoo?
We're working on a category. What is it? They call it a
conditioner or
category
something.
changer. Really working on a hair conditioner enhancer, so that you would keep your same routine and then incorporate a product that we're working on to enhance your hair.
I think that would be awesome. I really do. And I have to say, Chris, on the other hand, I do have a masterate in science too. So I know about science and double blind studies and that kind of thing. So, and the scientific view versus the spiritual view versus the everyday view and so on and so forth. But anyway, I just think the product has a lot of potential in a lot of other areas as well. So this would be a product that you would add to your conditioner or something?
Yeah. So really, you would be taking your kind of normal conditioner in your hand and then adding a number of drops of our hair conditioner enhancer, and then just mixing it together and putting it on.
That sounds like a great idea. Wow. Because, our hair carries toxins too.
Yep.
And,
What's
and
happening?
our hair is an extension of our nervous system. I don't know if you've ever seen the studies in the military about that. Are you familiar with it?
No.
Longer hair.
Longer hair, because, well, what happened during the Vietnam War, they wanted Native American scouts to find the enemy, right? And so they got some of the best scouts from the different tribes, and they cut off all their hair, and to make the military fashion, and they lost their ability to scout as well as they were able to before. So what they did in a second study, and this is available, you can read these studies. In another study, they did the same thing again. They got some more, but they didn't cut their hair, and they got the results that they wanted. So I find that fascinating. But anyway, that's a story on hair.
Well, I think that you brought up something that we're really noticing now, and I sent Chris and Rob, my partners, the stats on this entire year, what products are the best sellers, to see what people really want. And we've only done the facial serum a few months. The lip balm is brand new, but we're doing packages, and it's called Inside and Out, because if you address your insides with the oil, then you're addressing body, mind, spirit, it would appear through all the testimonials.
Yes.
And I'm not making a medical claim. It's just what we're reading on a daily basis, which is
Exactly.
really exciting. But then when you start putting it on your skin and seeing change there, then it's working from the inside and the outside. And now that we've got the lip serum, lip remedy with ESS60 that has different properties, but a lot of the same basic ingredients, vegan, organic, some we can't get organic, so they're natural as best we can. But people are buying the whole package rather than, when I was looking at the stats for the year, people are excited about the people like us, and they're seeing the change in me. I'm 5 years older than when I was on the air, really a lot, and my skin looks 20 years younger. This is exciting for me because I take tons of it, and I spilled, I'm sorry to say, a little 2-ounce sampler on my counter yesterday, and I just took off my clothes and covered my body.
That's what I was going to go to next. I was going to go to next that some kind of product that an all over body product, a lotion or something of that nature, or a bath bomb.
Well, the body lotion is in the works. It's coming up soon. C60 Evo Luscious Lemon Butter.
Nice.
Luscious Lemon Body Butter.
There you go.
All body, totally yummy smelling.
And I see a bath bomb for some reason, because when you soak in the bath, you have your whole skin, your whole body is able to absorb those buckyballs and detox you.
Ooh,
the only challenge with a bath bomb is that the molecule fundamentally is not water soluble. So you would really end up with, I think in your head, you're like, oh, you're not going to put in oil and then put the oil in your bath. But really it's oil soluble, not water soluble. And so we would have to put all sorts of emulsifiers and things to make it work. And we're trying to just stay as natural as we can. So that probably.
Well, there may be. Yeah, there may be some natural emulsifiers out there. There may be something out there, because I always look for natural stuff when whenever I use something, and but I can appreciate what you're saying, because that kind of quality is important, and you want to maintain it because that's what you started with, and that's what makes the product be liked so much and to grow as a result. So. Yeah.
You feel safe using it. And speaking of safe, Chris and I always talk about the difference between C60 and ESS60. And there's really a big separation between the quality of the possibilities of what they could be holding. Now, C60, there might be some good C60 still. We don't know. But we do know that there's C60 that came in from China a couple of years ago that they found teeny bits of glass in it. We do know, because we get the invitations to buy C60 from Wuhan, China. At first I thought, is it a joke? But then no, it's not. And then I got one from a different address in Wuhan, China. So clearly they understand the value and they're making it over there.
That's scary.
The thing about Chris and Rob and SES Research Labs for 30 years, they've been manufacturing all ranges of carbon fullerenes from C60, C70, all these different carbon fullerenes, to ESS60, which is totally at the peak of cleanliness and purity that they guarantee is safe for human consumption. Whereas anything below that, they don't. So when they had customers that were big buyers, they, buying C60, once they elevated the quality to, wait a minute, if people are going to take it, we need to be sure it's safe. And then they stopped selling it to the lower qualities because they didn't want to be responsible for anybody getting sick. And there were some proven tests, Chris, of toxicity.
Well, so the reality is, to kind of further provide clarity to the difference between C60 and ESS60. C60 we consider to be for industrial applications, and there is peer-reviewed published research that proves if it's improperly processed, it's harmful. ESS60 is C60 that's been processed for safer human consumption. So yeah, there was one, we were selling the raw powder to one manufacturer in the marketplace. When we realized that they were purchasing an industrial grade, not processed for safer human consumption product, we reached out to them and said, hey, you need to start ordering a different product. Of course, it's a little more expensive because it's been further refined. And they just stopped ordering from us altogether. So, you know, one, like, what's the integrity of the organization that's going to go and say, we don't really want to get the safest for human consumption product. We just want to get the cheapest product. And then when we kind of point them in the right direction, they just go somewhere else. Makes me really nervous.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I am with a company that cares about the quality and the integrity of their product so that it's safe for human consumption, or I wouldn't be interested. Because I can say, as a nutritionist in the past, I didn't want to represent any companies, or sponsor anything in particular, because there might always be, we're always involved with a number of different products for different, problems and so on. And there could be one that would be good with one company, one that might be better with another company. So I never wanted to go with just one company. However, that doesn't seem to be the case with this particular product. And so the quality is very important to me, or I wouldn't want to be involved in being a sponsor of it.
Kind of look like all roads lead to us. We did provide the original material in that original research that proved our material, when processed properly, so that's ESS60, extended the life of the test subjects with star rats by 90%.
Talk about
And
the
that is absolutely
concentrations that you found in your tests that you did.
Yeah, so really the study was published in 2012. We started getting calls about mid 2013, our clients asking us for, hey, how much in a dose? And we were very uncomfortable because we used, at that point, it was only for industrial applications. It's the only research, we sold it to research institutions around the world. They weren't, buying it and giving it readily. They weren't thinking of it in terms of a supplement. They were putting it in batteries and tires and inks and solar cells. And so we were really uncomfortable in the beginning. My business partner, Robert, and I hesitated to even get into the business because I had read an article that this is a peer-reviewed published research that showed that 50% of the supplements in general, this is not, unfortunately, I wish it was true of the C60 industry, because the C60 industry is even worse. But there's research that shows that 50% of the supplements that are on the market don't have in them what they say they have in them, right? And that made my business partner and I very nervous. We're used to selling to research institutions. When I gave them a gram of C60, industrial C60, they took it and they put it in an HPLC and they confirmed that it was actually C60 and not other components, not C70, not higher fullerenes, which haven't been provided into animals, and we don't know what the impact might be. It didn't have higher metals. Those things, like, we were just used to selling, being required to sell to customers what we promised them. And then the thought of getting into the supplement market made us real nervous, because clearly these people are selling to the end consumer. The end consumer doesn't have the HPLC, and so they can't confirm what is it. I always like to kind of go into Amazon, and you got to be careful. Like, probably the worst place to do, and I'm not saying Amazon's a bad place to buy supplements, but it's the worst place to do supplement research, right? Because you get on there, and if you've got a cell phone and you're looking at a cell phone, you see a 5-star rating for a cell phone, you're like, that cell phone probably works pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to ask yourself, like vitamin C, when you're on Amazon and you see a 5-star rating for vitamin C, what does that mean? Right? What we're sure it doesn't mean is that consumer took that vitamin C tablet and broke it down and stuck it in an HPLC and confirmed that it was ascorbic acid. That did not happen. They probably didn't even weigh the tablet. In fact, I'm like, in 99.99% of the cases, they didn't weigh the tablet. they probably didn't even count the tablets that were in there. I mean, really, a 5-star review on Amazon means I wasn't dead by the time I decided to leave a review on Amazon. And so it's okay. Like, we have our product on Amazon, and if you know that it's from the original manufacturer, because that can be a challenge, great. It can be a decent place to buy it. Our shipping actually is as fast as Amazon, so you should just buy it from us. But if that's what you're looking for, you want to take advantage of Amazon Prime, great. All those are good reasons. But what you don't want to do for any supplement, really for anything that you just are going to put in your body, is look at that 5-star rating and go, that must be safe. Well, I don't know. Like, did they confirm that it was only ascorbic acid, that it had no heavy metals in it, that there was no problems with it? That didn't happen. So that 5-star rating on Amazon doesn't really mean anything. So we're trying not to get into this industry from the beginning because it just wasn't, it didn't appeal to us. It didn't appeal to our scientific integrity. And then our customers keep asking, and we're like, okay, well, this is, not only are we carbon nanomaterial scientists, we're also entrepreneurs. This is clearly a business opportunity. Let's see if we can steward this opportunity better than everybody else has been doing in the supplement market. And one of the things we decided to do was, let's get 22 of the brands that are out there on the market, and let's look at what their concentrations look like. And like I said earlier, I wish it was as good as 50% of the products on the market don't have, what they say they have in them. Meaning, I wish 50% of the products on the market had in them what they say they had in them, but that is not the case. That is not what is happening in the C60 industry, which is really why, when Patty and I partnered together, and Robert and I partnered together, it was about, hey, how do we create an evolution in C60, right? The C60 Evo, the evolution, so that people can feel confident about the product. People can feel safe. I mean, one of my biggest concerns is they go buy another product. There's actually a product that's, I don't know if it's still on Amazon. They sell little tablets, by the way. We'll talk about this here in a second. But they sell tablets, and what they say on the serving size is that you need 2 of the gel caps. The reality is, I did a calculation. If you want a full serving size, you need 20 of them. So I'm concerned people are going to go out there, they're going to like, oh, I'm going to buy C60 on Amazon because it has a 5-star rating, and then I'm going to end up taking 2 tablets or gel caps, and it's, guess what? It's 1/10 of what you should be consuming. They get no experience. And not only do they like swear off on C60, which a number of people that we're now connected with had an experience where they're like, that didn't do anything for me, so I'm not going to do it again, right? And we had to convince you, this is the real deal, Gail. You should really give it a try. And you let us know what the difference is. And then finally we end up, that's when the consumer ends up with a good, high concentration, high quality product from an organization that's been manufacturing it since 1991.
Yeah, and that's so true. And it bears repeating. And that is, I had tried a similar product, not knowing the difference between the products, and I had no results. And so I went, well, this is bogus, And,
I won't be representing that stuff.
Exactly. So I'm very pleased to be with your product, and I'm happy to hear about your integrity, scientific integrity, and just all around, even marketing integrity, because like Patty was saying, I really enjoy the package that it comes in, and the way it's sent out. That, I don't know, it's like getting a present.
It really is. This was fun. But also, the cool thing about the sampler set, I mean, not only does it look cool and it comes in a nice box, but you can try all the flavors and see that there's different moods that you'll have where you may want a lighter C60, or you may want to put it in your coffee. Coconut oil would be the best for that.
Yes.
Not olive oil.
I can see why you chose coconut oil initially, because it has a lot of, I used to mix it in my coffee all the time.
Well, everybody loves it, but it doesn't hold very much C60.
No, and I want the C60.
So people that are promoting it heavily or raving about it have no idea how much they feel if they tried the olive oil, even from another company, if they mixed it well. The nice thing for me, like you said, the integrity, the professionality. I had toured a few labs because when I was looking for an investment in C60 land, I, looked around a little bit. And then when I called Chris, who I had already known somewhat, and they were like, what? Yeah, they flew me out. I had an NDA within an hour. I mean, when we decided to do something, it was so fast because the two pieces work together. They've got the lab that's been making it. They've got the shipping area that's been shipping it. So it's like icing on the cake for me to bring in that much more business. But for me, what a gift, because I get to design all the products and it gets done pretty quickly and it's manufactured beautifully, but the way it's shipped out, I mean, yes, I designed the packaging, but to see it today, I had forgotten how beautiful it is when it comes. So it is about quality. It is about knowing that the package is going to get there, but it's also about not hearing the word no anymore, which says to me life is working. And I've been through so many challenges, and this is authentic. I have such a crazy smile on my face, and I don't drink or do major drugs. I mean, there's nothing in me that makes me do that. But a lot of influencers are noticing that our personalities are just kind of softening around the edges. Like,
oh, that's a nice way of putting it.
yeah. Well, I don't know if you know Kirsten W., but boy, she was
yes,
moody.
I do.
She talks
Yes.
about all her, initials, ADHD, ADD. I mean, whatever all those things are. And now she's
and fiddling with her hair all the time.
She's like kind of really changed. Her skin is like glowing.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of us are having this happen. And when a lot of people say, oh, I tried it, it's expensive, I didn't feel anything, they're forgetting that these joints hurt last week really badly. Or they're forgetting that their hip doesn't hurt anymore, or the head isn't aching because they're forgetting because it doesn't hurt or ache any longer.
I think you're absolutely right on that, Patty, because it's subtle. It's not, boom, like that kind of thing. It's a subtle, because it's slowly working. And I think that's why it's so important. I always tell people 3 months at least,
and it's
is a fair
intuitive.
trial.
I mean, if you have certain issues, it somehow addresses those issues. And that's something I'd like Chris to explain. It's like, how does it know that her feet ached or her hips hurt or she had headaches? How does it know to somehow do directly that? Or is it just better sleep overall improves all those things?
Well, I always remember growing up and wondering how aspirin worked, right? Like wondering how aspirin knew to go to your headache or even whatever the boo-boo was that you had. Like, how did aspirin know that your elbow was, throbbing and that it would go there and fix it? And so it's really, I mean, at a very biological level, there's things that it's interacting with. And to be totally forthcoming, we don't know what those things are yet. And I like to say very confidently that people much smarter than me are going to figure out what are the exact interactions that are going on at the very core biological level. Just understand what this molecule is capable of, right? And it's a very interesting exercise, mental exercise. We know exactly how many atoms are in this molecule. It's exactly 60 carbon atoms in this molecule. Every cell in our body has 100 trillion cell atoms in it. So every cell in our body, by the way, there's about 100 trillion cells in your body. Every cell has 100 trillion atoms. So you're comparing 100 trillion atoms to 60, and you start thinking, well, if this buckyball thinks it's smart to wedge into this particular situation, it's going to get there, right? We know it crosses the blood-brain barrier. We know it participates, it gets into the mitochondria and participates in the ATP process. So just
that's big.
that's big. For reference, every cell, 100 trillion atoms, every cell has in it a mitochondria. The mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. It's the thing that provides energy to the cell so the cell can go about its day doing its skin business or liver business or kidney business, whatever that cell
And
is
there's
supposed
so
to be
much, I don't mean to interrupt, but there's
Yeah.
so much talk about mitochondrial dysfunction now
Yes.
that if it's able to get into the mitochondria, and if whatever it is that's causing that dysfunction, whether it be a heavy metal or whether it be
oxidation.
nanotech or oxidation, whatever it is, if it's able to get in there and provide the electrons needed for it to heal, for it to function properly, that's big.
Yeah, it's really, if you got a room full of mitochondrial experts and you ask them, would it be a good idea to have a free radical sponge in the mitochondria while it's going through the ATP process, all of their hands would go up. All of
Yes.
them would say, this is a really good idea. So we do know that the ESS60 molecule is a free radical sponge. It has the ability to hold the electrons, the negative charge of the free radicals, and it's able to transport those throughout the body. And the assumption from an antioxidant perspective is that they're escorted out of the body on excretion. And so yeah, we know that it's participating in this. We know it crosses the blood-brain barrier. And to kind of Patty's point, it could be as simple as we're getting better sleep. And because we're getting better sleep, we know that sleep helps our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. But again, the next question that begs the question, why are we getting better sleep? And maybe it's as simple as, hey, it's cleaning up free radicals real time in the mitochondria. So when you sleep, your body doesn't have to go in and clean out the mitochondria, clean out that mess caused by the ATP process. And then now it's able to focus on the next phases of sleep because that's already taken care of.
Yeah, and somehow the neurotransmitters involved in the sleep process and all the metabolism of that as well, the pathway's cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the pathway wasn't clear before because there were either heavy metals or something causing oxidation in the way that was able to vacuum out of the way and clear the way so that the normal pathways could be followed and
Yep.
managed,
Well,
if that
something
makes
sure
sense.
changed in me. 9 hours last night. I am sleeping
I did last
like
night
I
too.
have never slept before. This is so delightful. I have a new kitty and she, for some reason, likes 2 o'clock cuddles. It's like, leave me alone, please. You're really cute. But so aside from that, I've been sleeping like a log. I think the last time I did that was when I was a child, a long
Teenager,
time ago.
yeah.
It's a shocking sleep for me. And it didn't happen until the last 2.5 months. I moved. And where I live, I'm kind of sitting on a rock. And but the sleep is at a level I don't ever remember. And if this is ESS60 sleep, sign everybody I know up for it.
Lifetime member.
Yes, definitely.
Lifetime member.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's not just a few nights. Now it's every night. It's a whole different level of sleep. And boy, do I appreciate it. So, I mean, I'm working on some big things to heal. And I'm so determined that I'm getting through it all. But the mental assistance of this product, no matter what my body feels like, and it's only when I get up and try and walk very far. But short of that, my brain is on fire and more than before. And when I was making documentary films, I was, for some reason, awakened every morning at 3 a.m. and I didn't get back to sleep. So I got in this habit of middle of the night, getting up, writing notes, almost like intuiting all kinds of interesting information. Then I'd wake up in the morning and see this list of stuff I wrote down. Kind of shocking. But I remember after a while, I was going, I just want to sleep. Like, who am I talking to? But I'd almost fight it. Like, I don't want to get up. It's 3. And then it got me up regularly at 3. And then I just got used to it. So this new, finally, over all those chapters of whatever was going on in my mind or my work or bringing in information from whatever is no longer with me. Now it's quiet house.
Wow, that's awesome, Patty, because I used to wake up at 3 o'clock all the time too. And I just remembered that when you said that.
There's hope. So you're not doing it anymore either, right?
No.
This is one of those moments where we go, I didn't even realize.
Oh, yeah, this is what I'm
That's
talking about. Subtleties that you might not notice until you really, really think about it.
Right.
And I hadn't even thought of that until you said that, because I used to, why am I awake now?
Yep.
And that's the thing with that is, especially sleep related, in my opinion, is like we all get a little bit more sleep one night and maybe a little bit less sleep another night, or maybe every now and then you slept through the night, right, through a 3 a.m. night. And so it wasn't that unusual to sleep through and skip the 3 a.m. wake period, but you string together 3 of them in a row, and now you've forgotten it was even like that you were even doing it. And now that's what makes it so subtle for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It becomes the good new norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason
We need more good new norms, that's for sure.
I'm for a whole new paradigm.
Yeah.
The reason I have a hat and a velvety coat on is it is pouring snow outside. We're going to have about 6 inches, and I'm guessing Chris's pool is bubbling and warm.
Yeah. It could
Gail,
be.
what's your weather like?
Oh, we're very chilly today. We're like 65.
Oh, shush.
We're about the same here.
And you're in Arizona?
Right, Sedona. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the same here. It's nice.
Well, the thing about a product that you can just take a spoonful of in the morning that is more than 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant. What do we need to do right now more than anything? Boost our immune system.
Exactly. And you know what? I can tell you something too. This is a new thing that I learned. And this is one thing about the ESS60 that is better than the ascorbic acid, because acid is acidic. And most people are far more acidic than they want to be. And the olive oil in itself, I don't know about the fulverenes, but the olive oil in itself is going to be more on the alkaline side. So we mentioned that once in a previous thing. And I did some research on it, and it's definitely more towards the alkaline. And so it's compared to the two, and considering the one is higher than the other, the ESS60 is a better choice. There's just no two ways about it.
Yep.
It works for everybody too. And we haven't heard anybody say they had a bad reaction with other supplements, but we have heard a lot of people say, I cleared my shelf and now I take a spoonful of this and I don't have to buy those 8 different bottles of stuff. Speaking of bottles of stuff, ho, 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 we have another new product coming out, Chris. Is that bottle you held backwards?
Oh yeah. So
oh wow.
This is just a temporary label. You'll notice that it's a little bit different bottle, right? So a little bit smaller.
Right.
And it's got a little different thing inside of it. It's got gel caps. So now for some people, so really we made this because some of our customers are like, I don't like the taste. In fact, literally the only complaint we ever get, there are 2 complaints. One of them is, I don't like the taste of olive oil. And we're like, hey, we'll just dip it in bread, or you take a sip of something, the flavor goes away. It's just the best way to get a full teaspoon. And still, the only other complaint is sometimes people who take a full teaspoon of oil, whether it's MCT, avocado, or olive oil, that doesn't necessarily sit well in their stomach. That's something you actually get used to. MCT used to kind of cause things to move quickly in my system. And now I'm used to it, and it's in my coffee every day, and it really doesn't have any impact. So it certainly can have an impact in the beginning. And still there are people who are like, I don't want the MCT. I mean, I don't want the taste of the olive oil. When are you going to come out with a gel cap? And I'm glad they were asking, because again, some of the products that we tested that had the lowest concentrations were other gel caps that were out there on the market. So we took our product, put it in a gel cap, and that's available. You've got to take 4 of these a day. No, I'm sorry, 6 per day, 3 for breakfast. Well, if you can take all 6 at once, great, do all 6, or 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon to get your correct serving size.
Is that for a teaspoon?
That's 4
then?
teaspoon. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Those of us that take a tablespoon, you'd need quite
Too
a few
many.
more.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
more.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking that.
Triple.
I think I can deal with the olive oil taste.
Now,
But-
one of
You'd
the
be
things
surprised.
to realize, like if you're traveling, then you need to order the sampler that Patty was showing, or get some of our smaller bottles. But you can't take this on an airplane. You can pack it, but the pressure changes sometimes will cause a little bit of leakage or whatever. So that's the other place that these capsules, these gel caps,
that's
come
good to
in,
know. That's
in place.
fascinating.
right? Because you can throw a baggie full of these in your luggage, and you're good to go with your servings while you're on that trip.
Even if they radiate it like they do, does that have any impact on it?
There's some good research that actually the presence of ESS60 helps with radiation.
Oh, that's good. That's
They
good.
call it
news,
the
too.
miracle molecule, girl.
I think so. I think so.
All these things, but I think that's interesting that you were a prime example of going, oh my God, I'm not doing that either now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I didn't even think of that until you said that. So that was great.
That's fun. Well, the sampler set, I want to mention, comes in 2 different sizes. We do this little mini bottle so that you can get 3 to try the different flavors and see how they resonate with you, see which ones your body does the best with, or if you want 2 flavors, one with coffee and one, whatever. But the 2 ounce is 125 for 3 bottles, and the 4 ounce is 250 for 3 4-ounce bottles. So you save about $35. You always save money when you buy more than one item together. We take 15% off most of them, 20 off some. We try and round it out and keep the numbers nice mathematics. But we do a lot of collection sets. We also do pet products, which we talked about. The dogs, we do a special essence oil of bacon in the organic extra virgin olive oil. Strongest ESS60 formulation, plus a little bacon essence for dogs, a little salmon essence for cats. So they ask for it. They love it. They consume it joyfully. And you just have a little dropper, you sprinkle some dots on the top of their food, and you may see their coats start to get more glossy, see the light in their eyes light up more, because when they feel better, you'll see it. C60 Evo shows. That's what I see. My funniest testimonial ever was a guy that had a really old dog and a young dog. And the old dog was just so lethargic, and he gave him the ESS60 for dogs. And about a month later, he said the dog's not only running around and keeping up with the younger dog, but he's finally humping again. That he was proud of his old guy. But, you can't lie. Dogs don't lie. And to me, that's a testimonial, kind of like yours in the beginning of the show, which is, oh, where's this coming from? I like it.
Well, and what's great about any sort of pet testimonial is there is no placebo effect with pets, right? Pets don't go, oh, she put the droppers on today, and so today I hump as opposed to yesterday, right? Like that's not what's going through their little dog brains. They either feel like it or they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. I'm gonna have to try something for my little pup sometime. And,
you can share yours.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I might do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Not your
Just put a
facial
little-
serum, but the olive oil. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same formulation. So I've sent samples of this lip renewal to good friends and business women. And all of a sudden the testimonials are coming in, and they are so rock solid, beautiful, because it makes a difference. And what's fun in a world like this, where there's so many things to choose from, when you put a product on and you can actually feel it the next day, or you can feel hours later and notice it, or when you take something and it lasts through the day and all of a sudden you notice it, that's kind of unusual. I haven't had a realization like this in a long time about a product or a study. I mean, nothing has really excited me tremendously until this, because it actually makes a difference. It makes people happy, and it helps a lot of people change their life. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give people, in my opinion. If you know it works for you, what a great gift to give somebody else is the gift of radiant health. And I'm not saying it gives people health. I'm just saying testimonials make it appear that it works for an awful lot of people.
And this is a good point to just throw in, because I do believe it's really important that the FDA hasn't evaluated our products. They're not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.
Thank you. That's always a good safety margin.
It's always important. I want to mention before I forget that the few people that say, oh, it's expensive, but I'm worth it, before they say, and I'm worth it, I want to mention that we highly recommend people sign up for a monthly subscription, because you save 20% right off. And on every month, it gets automatically sent to you. And all you have to do is write us an email, simple email if you don't love it, and we'll cut the subscription off right when we get it, unless it's Friday and it's the weekend. But we take really good care of people. Our customer service is over the top impressive. Today, I sent them all a thank you letter because it's so easy. Oh my gosh. For me, I get to do all the artwork. I get to have fun and bring in all the promoters that are just saying, you're kidding, I can get some for free. Yeah, you want to work with us? And like you, I mean, it's funny. Everybody that tries it loves it. But when I was saying you feel it, when you can actually feel it, that's what you said gets you to want to promote a product. The facial serum, not only when you put it on, you can smell that essence of rosemary, which at night they say gives more etheric dreams, rosemary essence.
That's the other thing I forgot to mention. I think I said that last time. I'm dreaming again.
Yeah. And that can happen. Yeah. That can
Yeah.
happen from the edible oil, or that can happen, you know, the facial serum and the essence of rosemary can have that impact too.
That is so lovely.
It is. It's great. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt deprived. I really did. Because why aren't I remembering my dreams? Everybody talks about their dreams. I don't even remember any. And that used to bother me a great deal. And now I'm starting to dream again. So
Well,
I'm
you're
very
making
happy
me
about that.
happy. Your testimonials are really, really sweet. Yeah. And you didn't
it's
even
fun.
know.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's great. And I'm proud to be affiliated with your company. It's wonderful. I love it.
We're proud to have you as part
Yeah,
of our
we're happy
team.
to be working with you.
And I have a another person to talk to you about privately. Okay.
Always open.
Okay.
So you have a special link and your own code, so that when people, the choices again to save money on these products, our website is c60evo.com. And if you sign up for a subscription, 20% off. If you buy a package or a set, 15% more off. And if you put in her special link, another 10% off. So there's nice ways that you can have your initial purchase be so reasonable that it's a great way to start trying the project. But if you really want to treat yourself right, get the inside and out set with the lips. And
Yeah, I highly recommend that too.
And you'll notice your lips. People are writing, my lips are all puffed up, and you know the crackling is going away. It's like, It's nice when things work.
I like the package deal. We're inside and out, like you said. And the lip stuff is great.
And having your immune system boosted with a simple spoonful in the morning doesn't get a whole lot easier than that.
That's true. And now that you said that, I have to mention a guy that I saw on TV, and this was funny, not on TV, but on the internet. And it was funny because he said he comes walking out the door and he's got a t-shirt on and it says immune system on, mask off, and brushing off propaganda, brushing off fear. And it was hilarious. It was really funny. But it's a great way to turn your immune system on, is what I'm getting at.
And keep it boosted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't worry about getting sick, and I put on the mask to respect other people's fears and consciousness. You know, I mean, I don't know what's real. I don't know what's real or right or correct, but it would appear that we're all getting different information. And whatever it is, I'm definitely set because I take this every day and I never get sick. I never get
I don't either. And I
Yeah.
don't even do that, but that's okay. We
So
won't
what-
go into that because that'll get this not able to put on YouTube.
Do you know your special code?
EEGG.
EV, like
EE.
Evo.
I thought it was EEGG.
No, it's Evo, EV.
Oh, EVGG.
Mhm.
Ooh, okay. I better check
Unless I'm
my,
wrong, but the first person that tries it, if it's not EVGG, because it should be Evo, Gail of Gaia. So
Yeah.
it should be EVGG. And that'll get
Okay.
people another 10% off of your purchase. And it'll get Gail a commission to help support her channel and her very important work that we really appreciate.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That helps me. It does. So thank you. And I think we've covered everything for this show. And I thank you very much for your time and energy. And I am proud to be an affiliate with your company. I love your integrity. I love your product. And I don't know what else I can say. It works. It works. You'll see it if you try it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.